Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. It is a miserable day up here in my favorite spot, Horseshoe. It has been raining now for going on 20 hours. It right now is just misting and windy. And over here, because we've got so much wind going on, I can't have the awning out on my camper because the wind just picks it up. So I got my Bill's tent here set up, and I've had to MacGyver it a little bit, improvise I should say. I got my paddle up here. As you can see, I've had this tent for years. You can almost see through it in areas, but I got my paddle up there to help shed the water. I got my walking stick over here, held up by a twisted tea can there to help shed the water. Over here, I've got another twisted tea can with my camera tripod to help shed off the water, because it's rained here pretty good since last night. And I'm trying to keep dry under here because I like being outside in my favorite spot. Hopefully the weather's going to subside here in a little bit. But in this video today, last year I did a video on product reviews, on how some products you got to be careful on they don't actually do what they say. And then I did another product on fire starting, Blackbeard fire startings. And so this year I'm going to do another product review and tell you what Blackbeard sent to me and why. And I have a couple products here that, one, be pretty good for the child in your life, and the other one was highly disappointed. So stick around. Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. This, under my canopy, will be a product review of a few products I've been able to test out over the last couple of years. But first, I did this product last year. This was something that was given to me, I don't know how many years ago, and I mainly used it just for the watch, but it has the paracord on it. And if you remember last year, I talked a lot about this compass here and how this metal clip will interfere with the compass. So if you're wearing this on your wrist and you're trying to follow north is going to follow that metal clip all the time. It is never going to read, I don't know if I can get it to turn here or not, but it's never going to read true north because it's always going to be attracted to this metal clip right here. So if you wear this on your wrist, it could be a problem. But if you have a child in your life, or a nephew, or that likes outdoors, this will be a neat little stocking stuffer. This compass, there's a compass on the top of it, there's a whistle on the other end, and you can unscrew the compass part. You can put matches into here. I just heard something over here. I don't see anything, but I heard that. But you can put matches in here, or you can put some sort of fire starting in here, or you can put a fish hook with some fish line in there. Has a little mirror on it to grab the attention, but this is a neat little thing for maybe a child. Experts are not going to use this. This is showing, yep, showing correctly, showing north that way, but this is a neat little product. It's from Stansport, and to be honest, I don't even know where I got it from. I think it was given to me right around Christmas time, but it's a product that, you know, I have a compass already on my kayak that I use. And just to give an example, years ago when I was like 10 years old, my dad gave me something similar. It was a little bit bigger and it had the compass on the end. You unscrewed it and you could put matches on it. The other end, the whistle unscrewed, and inside there was a compartment that you could put fish line with a hook. And I can remember when my dad gave me this, I was about 10 years old when I went hunting with him. And we would go out in the deepest woods And my dad had a hunting buddy that we would drop off. He would go over to sit on a watch. Then he would drop my brother off, and he would take me down to the end of the road, and he'll say, "You got your compass on you?" And I'm like, "Yep, right here." Now remember, I'm about 10 years old, and we would stand on the edge of the road, and he would go, "Hold that compass out. You're going to follow that compass east. Stay on that line east. Don't go from side to side. Stay on that line. You got your watch with you?" And back then, those old Casio watches that, you know, the Star Wars watches, and I'm like, "Yep." And I'll pull it out. It always had one band on it because they would always break. And he would say, 10 minutes, follow that compass, which way? And I would say east, and he goes, "Correct." He would get back in the truck, drive away. I'm 10 years old, and I had something very similar to this. I gave it 10 minutes, you know, look at my watch, kick some stones, look at my watch, kick some stones. 10 minutes later, I held that compass out in front of me, and I'd probably now, at about every 15 yards, I would stop and look. Keep going east. Stop, look, keep going east. And that's what I did with something that was very similar to this when I was 10 years old. Now, I know a lot of parents now aren't going to send their kids out in the woods with something like this, but that's what my dad did. And after I walked maybe a mile, all of a sudden I would hear a, and I would look, and I would see my dad do this. And that was used to drive deer to my brother, my dad, and this hunting partner. And this is what I learned the compass on. So that was pretty neat. Now also last year in that video, I did a review of my Blackbeard fire starting kit that they did not send me this. I bought it, but has the fire starters in here, and it has the flint, you know, your rod to get this going. And in that video review, when it came out, Blackbeard got a hold of me and said, "Hey, thank you for the video. We really appreciate it." And they asked if they could use a section of that video of when I had it all set up by the fire, and I said sure. And as a thank you, they sent me this. Now in here is their fire plugs. Now I've never used their fire plugs, so they sent me the thank you card. And then let's see, and here is a sticker, Blackbeard fire starters, and then their fire plugs. If I can get one out here, with a little case. And this case, I guess, is designed, has the Blackbeard on there. You can put the plugs right in here, I guess, but they feel like a little waxy plug. I don't know, I've never used one of these. We're going to see today if we can get, in these conditions, it's been raining now for about 24 hours, almost 24 hours. It's misting right now. We're going to see if we can get a fire going. Now, how I start a fire is the way my dad taught me to start a fire. And he said you need a good knife. And I've had this knife for a lot of years. I don't know, it says SOG on it. I don't know. SOG field knife. And it's been a pretty good knife over the years. It probably needs sharpening. And this is the knife I carry with me. It's right in my truck, so I can easily grab it and go. And he taught me, if you ever need to get a fire going, you're not going to get a fire going with wet wood very easily. So you need to find a pine tree, which I have pine trees over here next to me. Get the bark off it and whittle. Just start whittling. Make a pile of whittle, because that is what's going to burn. The pine trees burn really easy. They're very, very combustible. So that's why he said find a pine tree. And so I've done that already. I have a little bit of whittle here. I have a little bit of white pine wood here that I'm going to see if we can get a fire going in these conditions and maintain that fire. And while I'm doing that, maintaining that fire, I have a product that I'm going to show you that I was highly disappointed in. So Blackbeard, in the original kit that I bought last year, had this lighter in there. It's one of those electric lighters. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's got the 4 posts that it makes this X pattern of I don't know, it's electric. I don't know exactly what to call it. And I've taken this plug and I pulled it apart a little bit. It feels really waxy. It feels wet actually, but it's kind of waxy. And over here I got my whittle. So in here, because the wind is coming this way, I'm going to tuck everything right down into here and see if I can keep this going. And we'll see if we can get this lit up here.
Even the most undereducated person in the world, with the arc lighter and the fire plugs, that person will be able to start a fire in any condition.
And blew it out. Alright, there we got, let's put a little bit of the whittle down here and see if we can get a fire going. Let me tell you, everything is wet. Truly, truly wet. We got flame and we got smoke. And let's see if that continues to go here. Well, we still got flame. I'm going to throw a little bit more whittle on there. Everything is wet. I'm telling you that right now. Everything is wet. You'll have to believe me on that. Everything is damp. Everything is wet. And I'm going to try to get this fire going and maintain it in these conditions. So far, that fire plug is burning the way they said it was going to. So this is white pine, and it is, it doesn't feel soaking wet, but it's damp. There's no doubt about it, it's damp. And I'm going to stack up some wood here to see if I can get this. Oh, that piece there is soaked. That would be a good one right there. And we'll stick those in there. See how it goes here, because this is what is going to be the life-saving tool if you get caught out here and need to start a fire. And this fire is going pretty good now. I do have to say that. So we'll see if that takes off. So as we talk about this last product, you can see I got the fire going over there. The wind is going this way. You can see the flames want to go this way. And so it is still going. So briefly, I want to touch on a product that I was highly disappointed in. When I first saw this thing, I thought, that is going to be a pretty neat product to have. And this is, the date that I ordered it was 4/16/23, and it shipped on 4/21/23, and it was delivered on 4/26/23. Okay, this is a Venty Fan, the case that it comes into, and I thought this was a pretty neat freaking little system when I bought it, but it turned out to be highly disappointing to me. Now this fan comes up, and it's pretty neat because it can extend outward, extend up, what is it, 36 inches. It oscillates. It's got a remote here in it that you can run it from remote. And I thought this would be a pretty neat thing to take truck camping. So I got it April 26, 23. It was delivered to my house. And I used it. I used it in my RV. I used it when I went truck camping. And it worked pretty well. And I was impressed with it. Up until the last time I used it was a power outage that we had at the house. And we used it, we put it on the other side of the wood stove so it would oscillate and blow heat. Well, it worked. I charged it up before I put it away, and it sat for 3 months. On April 14th of 24, I took this out because I was going to go camping. And I opened it up, I opened it up, turned it on, nothing happened. And I was like, well, maybe the remote's dead. So I tried it. I tried the light, nothing would work. I'm like, well, maybe it's dead. So I plugged it in, won't even take a charge. 363 days from the time I've ordered it, and it quit working. So what do? I emailed Venty. I emailed again. I emailed again. And I emailed again. This is now August, and I have yet to get a reply from Venty. I've emailed them several times. I've sent them messages on the Instagram because they constantly have Instagram ads. And I've made comments on their Instagram ads about their fan. That, hey, 363 days, I had my fan and it no longer works. And to this day, they have not answered one of my emails or one of my messages. Not once have they done it. 80 bucks this thing cost. And I thought it would be a pretty neat fan to take truck camping. And I used it a couple times here in the camper. And while it worked, it was a pretty neat little fan. But it lasted less than a year. I'm just a small-time YouTuber, 1,600 subscribers. So Venty will probably never see this. But if you're looking for a fan like this, I would skip Venty. In my opinion, not worth the $80. 363 days. That's how long this fan lasted. And I'm highly disappointed in it. And I'm even more disappointed with the fact that they haven't even answered any of the emails. Nothing. And it shows you what kind of company that is when that happens. So how's my fire doing? My fire's still going. So Blackbeard fire starters. These plugs here, they seem to work just like the other plugs did. And I have some more wood I'm going to go throw on that fire. Starting to pick up with the rain, and there it goes off the canopy. But Venty Fan, thumbs down. If you're looking for something for your child that likes the outdoors and they want to learn about compasses, this is a good one to start with. Matter of fact, these Blackbeard fire starters could fit right into this compass. Because the best thing you can do is be like my dad when I was young. He taught me how to use a compass and taught me how to make a fire if need be. And make a fire, you need a good knife to whittle some wood down. So far, I have a fire, and with the wood is not soaking wet. There was one piece that I put on there that was soaking wet, but the wood is damp. It's been underneath the canopy over here, some of my firewood, but it is, I can tell by looking at it that it is not dry wood. But Blackbeard fire starters, I am not a representative of them, but so far what the products that I've gotten from them have got a fire going. But to maintain that fire, you need to have some good material, like whittling some wood down to get that fire going, and then getting that fire, building that fire up. So far, that's going pretty good. I like it. That is a fire that could be desperately needed out in these conditions. Like I say, it's like 55 degrees out and raining. But that little compass, I like for a stocking stuffer for a child. Blackbeard fire starters, the fire plugs. It burned, it got the fire going. That's all that matters. But the Venty Fan, thumbs down. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.